You're watching the Vitalities of the Spiritual Life here at Medicine Singing. You've looked at the first of three blessings, the first one entitled the Chord of Life. In that you saw my friend next to me, the flute, and each developmental stage preceded by the first chord and followed after the four stages of life by the last breath, which is also the next breath. During that time, you were asked to consider some things. You were asked to review your past and consider what you saw there. You were asked to go into the future and be greeted by people who know you or knew you and have loved or cared about you or been impressed by you, and perhaps you were their hero or their helper. Perhaps they were that to you as well. And you met them again. And each of them stood forward and said to you what they remembered about you or cared about you or found meaningful in their relationship with you. You've been asked to consider the chord of life, a way to conceptualize breath and birth, developmental stages, and also dying and death. And we have spoken in the segment, When Death Visits, that our orientation is to live a life so that we have an honorable death. Let's take a few minutes then to review the 10 considerations of the chord of life. Number 1 is breath. That breath brings vibration, tone, chord, sound, motion. And we are gifted breath, which is number 2. We are gifted this breath. We did not create it. We did not order it. We did not send away for it. It found us, gifted to us. Number 3, it is the gifter that gave us this breath. Whatever that may mean to you on your spiritual path. Number 3, the gifter gifted the breath to us. Number 4, therefore there is a relationship with gifter, what is given, and ourselves. So we are co-creators. Like what appears to be two flutes, a constant in transition is one. Number 4 is we are co-creators in our lives. We have a say in the song that we play. Number 5, we honor the 6 developmental stages of life. The first is when breath comes to us. And then, the second chord is birth and childhood. Then youth, adulthood, eldership. And 6th, the last breath. The last breath in dying and death, which becomes the next breath. We used, my friend, the flute to show the colors of each one of those, to see where we are and where we hope to be. We have looked at the developmental stages of life. Number 6 is that in life there is both a constant and a transformation, always at the same moment. What may look like 2 is 1 breath, 1 tone, 1 movement. So number 6 is that we remember there is always a constant and always a transformation, which is 1 breath. 7, we have looked at our past, being rigorously honest, reviewing it, also looking for the blessings in it, the wondrous things that happen. We have looked at our future, the dream we want to follow or are following, where it may take us. And we've come into the present, being honest and true about our competencies and capabilities and the resources that we have or may need, as well as the things we need to stop doing in order to achieve our dream, to start doing anew, or to keep doing on this spiritual path. Therefore, number 7 gives us a spiritual map, where we have been and come from, where we are going, and where we are. Whether we feel lost, or we're exploring, or we're explaining, or we're expressing our dreams, we have a map that we can follow. And number 8, if you remember the example in a previous blessing of the orange, like the earth, we use this map and we follow longitude and latitude. And on the spiritual map, our latitude is a latitude of gratitude. We constantly are mindful of what we are thankful for. And we list those things, and we share those things, and we give thanks for them. Then we look at our longitude of longings, those things that we desire more than anything else, to follow our dreams, to express them. So we take the latitude and the longitude, and where they come together is where we are in life development, now and this moment. So we have a spiritual map, and we have on the 8th thing the latitude and longitude that helps us find the very specific moment of where we are at. Number 9, the vitalities of the spiritual life brings us humility. The breath we're breathing was gifted to us. We did not create it. We did not make it. We do decide how to use it for the time we are gifted. It brings us humility. We know with humbleness that there will be times as a human being where we'll be afraid. We know there will be times when we will be shocked, caught off guard, perhaps even feel dread in going into a new experience, unsure of ourselves. We all know those moments as we follow this path, and it's part of our humility. But we don't stay there. We give fear or anxiety and worry only a brief moment of hospitality, acknowledging it, honoring it for what it is, and then stepping forward. And number 10, the vitalities of the spiritual life bring us courage. So while we may give a moment of hospitality to anxiety and worry or fear, we are human. We only do it briefly. Our greater honor, our greater hospitality, born out of our courage on this path, is we breathe that breath of life that we've been gifted and find the courage to take the step forward, stepping through the gate, crossing over the threshold, taking the risk, knowing that we can't stay here. We are to move on in the next step. And so we take with us our humility and our courage. We know that this is your song. So if I take this flute now, where the colors reside in each hole of this 6-hole flute, you would not like what it sounds like, because it would not play well, because the holes are plugged up. That's because it's not my song. It's yours. Whatever those movements of the Spirit and breath through you, it's your turn, your time. You have a say. We all have a say in the song that we make, the song that we play, the steps that we take. We do so in humility, but also with great courage. We take the step. We follow our dreams. We follow the breath. And we'll find ourselves in a great company of seekers, those that know the breath and know the breath and the path it leads to. Fellow dreamers, seekers. This is good medicine. This is a medicine of love, and this is the medicine of the vitality of the spiritual life. It is as good as it gets. And it is magnificent. I hope that this aspect of medicine singing and the vitality of the spiritual life will be a consideration of yours on your journey and on your path of spirituality. We are all related. Aho.